So where there's racing again, side by side. It just, I mean, great win, way to capitalize on it for Speed B to take it.
Yeah, let's talk about that speed because you got out there and made it happen, especially there at stage two and in stage three. You really made it happen. What was it like out there for you to be able to accomplish that? Um,
Yeah, it was honestly really cool. I mean, we had a good amount of confidence coming off of the Rookie versus Pro, the All Star win, and also the Daytona Dash win. Well, one of them. And so, yeah, it was just, you know, that's where we expected and pretty cool.
okay, so take me through it. You're coming to the closing laps of stage one. Excuse me, stage three. Um, you are sitting third. I think you were sitting third at that point, if I'm not mistaken. And you were able to get yourself out front. Take us through those last couple laps where you had to get past Paintbrush, who had been dominating the whole back half of the race. You to be able to overcome that, man. Just take us through that if you can.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, you were correct. I was sitting third. And, the two, it was Swift and Paintbrush, so they were, like, teammates that were going to, like, help me out to get out, or help, I was going to be able to help one of them out. So, I had to, like, try anything I could. So, once I got to the outside, I was sitting duck, and then all of a sudden, here goes my teammate. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And going to 1 and 2, I get a huge run on the backstretch to get to the outside of Paintbrush. And me and Nightfall whizzed right by him. And at that point, I was just trying to help Nightfall get second. And yeah, we got the boards to finish first, second, and all the Chevys behind us.
Yeah, if I may say, don't get used to that. But
Wow!
how has this changed your
How long has it
perspective?
been since you took a checkered flag?
Listen, who's side fractured?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm on the
Jesus, calm down.
CMR side. I'm on the CMR side.
Okay,
I'll rethink my.
that's what I thought last time I checked. But so
It's okay, I
no,
haven't
but
won
for
one in a
real,
while.
how's it changed your perspective moving forward through the season? Speed to have won the 500.
Uh, gives us a good amount of confidence to go out there and probably win another, hopefully, a good 4 or 5 races more. Trying to get as many wins as we can before this playoff starts.
Yeah. Fractured, since you are very lively, you got any questions for Speed B?
So, how many times do you think a wall will be hit in the upcoming weeks now that you have a win?
Uh, yeah, I really can't tell you until
Okay, yeah.
we get there,
Yeah.
but uh, you'll see.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully 0.
And,
Oh Lord,
so do you
I'm
think this will be
scared.
the year where you'll finally get that right course win?
Yeah, and the championship.
Hey, that's all you.
And
Yeah.
oh man,
I had that.
All right, so guys, let's shift gears a little bit. Um, let's talk about first of all, some big names out there in KMR and how they performed in the 500. Big names, of course, we're talking about Speedy. You did well. You won a stage, or rather, you got close to winning a dash, and you got ready. And then you went out there and took stage one of the Daytona 500 and didn't have you had a decent stage two, got into a little bit of trouble. But take us through the 500, especially from stage one to the final stage, for your take. What happened out there?
Give me 1 second on it.
As you know, drive out of turn one. And while we wait for Speedy, Speed B, you saw the 99 out there. What were your thoughts about the kind of race Speedy had as a big name out there?
I'm pretty sure, definitely, I felt like he was a top 5 car, the whole 500, but, you know, luck wasn't on his side at the end of either the dash or the 500. All in all, I feel like he had a relatively pretty good race.
Yeah, actually getting a chance to run with him, that car was bad fast. But
Alright,
let's hear from the man himself.
What was the question again? Sorry about that.
Just take us through your 500. We know you took stage one at Daytona. Didn't have the best stage two. When we all know what happened in the final stage, just take us through the 500 for yourself and big events for you.
Yeah, stage one, it was good. I had a really fast car, one of the top fastest cars out there, I believe, in my mind, I think. Was able to take stage one with the help of others, drafting with me and whatnot. And, yeah, stage two, unfortunately, I gave myself a penalty that I know better, so I had to deal with the consequence of that. Started fighting my way back, and then stage three, of course, just still fighting back from that penalty. Just ended up taking me out because I couldn't avoid other people's problems. But overall, it was a good race, fun. Hopefully, next time we hit the restrictor plate, outcome's different.
Yeah, definitely. We hope so, because, you know, CMR can't keep paying for these race cars. Yeah. Other big names, we talked about Paintbrush, man. Paintbrush had a huge 500. When you talk about, he is turning into one of the better restrictor plate racers in this league. He just can't get in victory lane.
He wants championship.
You can't do it. This guy averaged third in the 500, finishing third twice in stage one and in the final stage. And his worst finishing position in the 3 stages was fourth. He did an outstanding job the whole 500. Couldn't get to victory lane.
You know, 500 is all about also help. You can't just do it alone. I mean, he probably, if I remember right, he didn't have a whole lot of help to get himself where he could, or I don't think his car and his teammates' car was good enough to get to the front completely. They can get to the top 3, but I don't think they can make it to the top 1. So it's really rough, especially the drafting of the games, how the aerodynamics works to get yourself where you need to be to get those positions.
Yeah. We're talking about someone who led 45 laps, though, on that final stage. He was killing it all the way up to the end. I think if he'd had a caution, he'd have been able to get it. But it hurts. But RCR is going to be a team is going to be reckoned with throughout the rest of the season. And his teammate Swift, though, on the other hand, didn't have the best 500 at all, actually. Guys, your thought 31's performance And the 500, we know he puts better 500s up than that. With a 7, a 5, and then a 6. Unable to get into the top 3 at all and stay there.
I think it was mainly bad luck for him. Just didn't have the help. Just didn't have way he needed to do it. He tried and tried and tried, just didn't have enough.
I mean, I kind of have to agree with Speedy. He didn't really have much luck. Also, I don't know. For me, it just didn't feel like he was much aggressive. I feel like he was just relatively calm in that race and just trying to finish it.
We'll have to see if he can bounce back from where he is in points, as well as where he is uh, moving forward statistically. See if he can have a bounce back season, because we're talking about someone who had a breakthrough year last season. Now starting off a little slow. We'll see if he can fight through and get a good win coming up in this upcoming season. Other big names. Speed B, your teammate Nightfall. How would you grade his performance for the 500? We know last season restrictor plates were not something he was rocking hard at, and so for him to finish second, man, how did you feel about that?
Honestly, his day was all up and down, and the fact that he was able to, I remember at the end of stage 2, he was trying not to go a lap down, and for him to go from all the way there, then I remember him getting a penalty. Stage 3 for him to bounce back to get second, considering how he runs at plate tracks. That's like a B plus right there for him.
Yeah. Guys, if he starts to get really good at restrictor plates, what do you think that is going to be? We know what he can do at the other racetracks. If he gets good at these restrictor plates, correct me if I'm wrong, galactic domination, I think is the term I'm thinking about. He's got almost everything else.
Yeah,
First of all, I think he needs to recognize them as a real racetrack.
That might help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what come to these plate tracks, they feel like this is their time to actually get a win, and him being dominant there basically it kills everyone's hopes.
I can't right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We think about drivers like All Guns, who's had recent success at restrictor plate tracks. Let's talk about All Guns while we're talking about him. The Gun, with his returns to Hendrick Motorsports, has new teammates, and goes out there and finishes fourth, if I'm not mistaken, in the 88. New look for him. Fractures, you've ran with All Guns before. When you saw he finished fourth in the 500, actually averaged really good after stage 1, where he finished 5th. He finished 3rd in stage 2, and he finished 4th in the final stage. When you saw that out of the Gun, what were your thoughts? How did you feel about that? Haven't ran with him before.
The guy balls out at restrictor plates. I mean, most of his wins are there. He's got the one at Richmond, but I mean, at him at restrictor plates, it's like he just steps it up to a new level every time. He's smart. He's just really smart with his moves. He knows what happens, and he's a good restrictor plate racer.
The 88 is a fitting ride for him.
Yeah. I think so.
The whole plate track thing.
Speedy, let me ask you something. Talking about All Guns here, will his abilities at restrictor plates, to possibly win races? We know we've got 2 more left in the season. Is that going to be enough to get him through to the playoffs or through to round of the playoffs?
That's gonna depend on how he has an overall season. If he can manage to get the luck and continue to progress on advancing how he runs on the restrictor plates, he might be able to get the win on one of them and clinch himself in. It's not going to be an easy task for him to do, but yeah, it's possible he could possibly do it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I guess as the host, I'll have to leave myself neutral on that, but we'll have to see what he can do. Well, we know that he has become a viable threat at a restrictor plate. Someone you better take seriously, or he'll sneak himself to victory lane. All right. Teams, we know there are not that many teams out there at this moment, but team performances. Let's talk about while we've talked about Hendrick Motorsports, all guns. Let's go ahead and talk about Hendrick Motorsports as a group. How would you grade them after the 500? What improvements do they need to make throughout the season to get better?
For me, I'd probably give them a B minus because they had I'm not sure what cars I believe racing in the 500, which that's a big thing you need in teams is consistency, and they all the 24 kind of slacked off but the 88 and the 9. They were pretty good contenders for the 500, and if they can continue that throughout these weeks, they could be a threat.
Fracture, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll give them a B. Can you remind me what drivers are on there again? I don't really.
You got all guns. You got Beloved in the 24. You've got Ender James in the 48.
Yeah.
You got Slothy Black in the number 9.
Yeah. Well, the big thing that I would probably put up is there's a lot of different personalities on that team, and I don't know if in the end they're going to really work out together. For the 500, I'll give them a B. I think it worked out pretty well, but in the long run, it's just, I didn't see it. I don't know, Slocky's different. He's different on smart driver. He can last races. Ender he can do whatever he wants to be at times. And then all guns, he takes checkered flags, but I'll give him a B in the 500. But throughout the season, I don't know if I can see it working.
What needs to improve? What can they do to be a threat throughout the season?
Cooperation.
They're gonna have to, teamwork, cooperation, and just knowing there's differences on that team and different skill levels, and they're just going to have to work to get better. It's not going to be something that's going to happen with a snap of your finger.
Speedy, chime in there. What's your thoughts on HMS, their grade, and then what they can do moving forward to get better?
Work together, communication, helping each other out on the track, on and off the track, with setups and whatnot. Keeping their heads cool and just mainly just trying to be there for every race and be there for the finishes.
We'll definitely have to keep an eye on HMS to see if they are able to improve enough. They are sitting very high in the team points, and Speed B, you highlighted one of the reasons why, because most of their drivers ran and finished the race, with the exception of the 24. But everyone else finished well. We have a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th at the end of the 500. So we'll have to keep our eye to see if they can take that restrictor plate magic and turn it to actual talent and skill on the racetrack. So we'll see what they can do there. We talked a little bit earlier about Stuart Haas, and of course we know they've got our defending champion Nightfall. They've got our Daytona 500 champion Speed B. So fractured. How would you grade them getting started, and then moving forward? How would you grade them, and what would they need to do to get better, if that's even possible?
I'll give them an A minus. I give them that because it just seemed like Speed B and Nightfall were able to work together quite a bit that race and work things out. I mean, that's a good reason why Speed B was able to get up to the front, take the checkered flag. But I think what has to happen going forward is they're going to have to be on the same page, I think, at every single track. They're going to have to be willing to work with each other. I know there's a lot of speed there, but whether or not they're going to be able to work with each other is going to be a whole different thing. And other than that, I think this could be yet another successful season for them.
Speedy, what you got?
Pretty much same thing he said. As long as they can continue to work together and communicate, they're going to be people, two drivers to reckon with for this championship this season.
Now, we can't forget that also this season that their team is actually a full team, with Amari and Zesty fielding the 41 and the 10. No, the 41 and the 4, respectively. So I think that that's really going to play in too with how well they do. Neither one of these drivers really perform well. One didn't make it to the 500. The other one didn't perform well in the 500. I think that I would definitely give them an A. But I think, sometimes you have a situation where you have something that's so strong that you say the only way that this thing could not work is if it goes out from the inside out, because nothing outside is going to get to it. And I think that's the situation we have here. If it doesn't work, if something happens, if they struggle this season, I think it'll be because of what's happening as a team as opposed to what's happening on the racetrack, coming from other drivers. Now, we'll touch on a little bit how NH3 may balance the scales just a little bit. We'll have to keep our eyes on that, but I definitely give them an A when you got the defending champion and then a very, very talented and fast driver who was a Final Four finalist in Speed B last season. I think you're asking for success if they can band together and get this to work. How are those two rookie drivers going to play their part in helping this team succeed? Now, the reason why I excluded Speed B is because I know he's going to be extremely biased. So now let's get our biased opinion of how this team ranks up from Speed B himself. How do you think it's going to work with you moving forward with new teammates and with someone who last season actually was a rival in some ways and now he's your teammate? Just take us through that, Speed, what you expect moving forward.
I expect I'll say big things because really last season at HMS, we had those cars. I mean, they were filled up at times, but just never had like that teammate feeling as I'm probably gonna have this season with SHR. So it's gonna be pretty useful, honestly, to have some teammates out there to help out instead of being on my own, and hopefully it's gonna help me get more wins.
Okay. See, I appreciate your very subtle answer. You didn't go out there like, yeah, I'm going to win the championship because I'm on SHR. I had to reach through the microphone. So, anyway, next big team, RCR. What grade would you guys give them? How did they do, and what do they need to do moving forward to get better?
Who wants to start? You want me to start? Okay, I'll start. Uh, I'd give them the 500. I'd give them a B minus. They got to work with each other a pretty good amount when they were together. That's the problem. They weren't really together that much for the 500, but when they were actually working pretty good. Um, but you got to give them the fact that they're only a two-car team, I believe, so they don't have much to work with. But the way they performed in the 500, I'd give them a B. You know, I feel like they'll be a contender. Those two drivers for a championship, and they just, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard for them because they only have two cars.
Fractured, Speedy.
They're going to have to use their CMR alliance, I think, to help them. Obviously, it's not a stacked team. It doesn't have 50 cars on it. It's only got two, is it? I think.
Two and a possible for you spade players out there.
Well, they got veterans that are alliance to them that they need to use to help them succeed. Because we got Speedy, Cookie, myself. Use that to help and get yourself to take checkered flags and start winning and make a run at the chase.
I'd have to say I agree with Fracture. Yeah, they need to use the people they know that will help them and that are pretty experienced to possibly better their driving skill and whatnot. And just mainly number one thing, show up and try the best. Yeah.
Yep, we'll have to keep our eye on them as they progress through the season. Just two of them right now, but again, as you guys highlighted, that could possibly benefit them. And speaking of the alliance, let's go to now CMR. And since the whole panel, besides one driver, is a CMR, we'll start with Speed B. How would you grade CMR Daytona, and then moving forward, what do they need to do to improve to possibly be championship contenders? And actually, I believe he had to step away. So let's get some biased opinions of that.
I would say we got a F. Considering my own teammate decided to not help me at one point to that race.
I wonder who that could be. It wasn't me.
No, it couldn't have been you at all. Honestly, I think I'd probably give us about a B or a C, considering we were down one driver. That race that could work together. And to improve, I think we just need to continue to try to work together, do our best, help each other with setups and whatnot, and just, of course, show up, do everything we can, and just work together and try to get our cars to the front and stay there.
Okay, before I ask Fractured, for the record, I told you that I was not looking behind me, okay? So when I made that move, I did not know it was you behind me, or I would have stayed put. You have to trust that that's the truth.
You hit each other enough last year, and you got right up on the right foot to start off the season. Good job, guys.
Thank
you do need me, man. Maybe I shouldn't take time off and stay here for a while.
Yeah, we need some assistance before we end up at each other's hollers at the end of races.
I can run you both up and just be like, "Hey, I'm here now." You don't have to hit each other. You can hit me, not each other. Me.
And then all three of us will be in the garage. There we go.
Yeah.
Speed B, you back?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Did you hear the question?
What's about RCR? Not RCR, CMR.
No, CMR. Yeah,
Yeah.
CMR.
Yeah. I mean, like how would I grade them? You mean and all that?
Yeah, how would you grade them? Just the same thing. How would you grade them, and what do we need to improve on moving forward throughout the season?
Uh, I mean, not gonna lie, I didn't really see you guys much in the 500, but when I did, didn't really see much of working. Yeah, I'll give you guys a E minus to a C almost right now. But the thing that they really need to improve on is just work together as a team and not going off the ball and on their own. Because yeah, I'm sorry, I was like how hard to explain. I really didn't get to see you guys much of the 500.
Oh, that's fine. You would have saw a lot more of me because when I lagged out, I was up front. So you would have saw me, but it is what it is with the electronic failures.
Your 500 is my championship internet.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We swapped right before the race.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even
But
Well, Cookie, what do you think? What would you grade us?
well, let me get Fracture's thoughts first, and then I'll drop the hammer down.
Well, let's see. Aside from each other, I'll give it a B plus. I think had you been able to stay in it longer, it would have been a better result. But I can see the teamwork moving forward. You obviously did not have the whole team there. That did not help at all. Defending 500 champion myself would have been there, and it's just it wasn't a stacked team. And I think if they had another shot to do it with a stacked team, it probably would have had a chance of the win. And Cookie's internet being fine. Moving forward, though, I think this is a championship caliber team. You got three really veteran drivers in it, and it spells championship.
We're not talking much about. Shoot, I had your chance. We're not talking much about Hair Bear much either. And I think Hair Bear is going to benefit a whole lot from being on this team. And so if I were to grade us based on the Daytona 500, I'd say a C, simply because there were a lot of unforeseen occurrences that came up that took us. Number one, we had a sub driver that, quite honestly, shouldn't have been somebody. I'm not even going to go into detail about that, but that kind of hurt us because that kind of messed up the chemistry. I think number two, the electronic failures were absolutely horrible, and so you can't do much when you're sitting on the sideline. And I think number three is that Speedy tore up another race car. Pivotal moment. He tore up yet another race car. Just carrying right on over from RCR. Just tearing them up, man. Tore up 2 race cars in one weekend. I mean, that's really bad. But anyway, what we can do, I think, to fix that is, but really, we can get on the same page, making sure that we're patient and taking our time and really working together to get ourselves up front, like we did at Speedy in that final stage to get ourselves up front. It took us 7 laps to get from where we were to the front, and that was because we stuck together and we worked together. And honestly, I didn't know it was you behind me, but it made a lot of sense when I looked back and said, "Oh, that's why I'm up here." Because we work together. And I think making sure that we don't forget that as veterans, we can run off and leave Hair Bear by mistake. So we got to make sure that we take time to get him up there with us, but and keep his confidence up. But I think moving forward, again, we're a championship caliber team, and we can work hard to try to make it a Final Four where it's just CMR. Now, I hope everybody that's in the league is listening to that. We're coming for you, especially Nightfall. We're coming for you, buddy. We're coming. Okay. Probably just sealed our fate there, but, I'll just edit that part out.
Sorry to interrupt, but, I have to step out of the booth and go. Was it fun talking to you guys.
All right,
Alright,
Speed B,
alright.
we thank you for you
Yeah.
joining us. We'll see you on the track this
Yes.
Saturday.
See ya. Good luck with the rest of the show.
Good race, guys. Sorry,
All right.
a couple I got into.
Speaking of the rest of the show, let's move on to our next segment because we want to preview the upcoming races on the upcoming weekend. We've got Homestead, Indianapolis, and Auto Club. All three big tracks, all on
Could have put him on
NH3.
Forza, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I could have put I could have put Auto Club on Forza, but
Yeah,
I would
well,
have took some tweaking.
that would have been better.
But anyway,
Of course, you're trying to blame it
guys,
on me. I'm tearing up race cars, not you paying attention to who's behind you.
What
Well,
we're gonna hear in the
yeah.
upcoming races. I got 18. It's okay. It is definitely okay.
Guys, what can we expect? What do you expect in the upcoming races?
Just I gotta make a call.
Speedy, what do you expect in the upcoming races for the NH3?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping for some good racing between drivers. I'm hoping for some good, decent finishes, decent runs. But not 100% sure exactly what to expect from the damaged model, DNFs and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Okay, Fractured Chain will be back with us shortly. So, I think moving forward, I think we're actually going to be in a pleasant surprise. I've ran quite a few races in preparation for this season on NH3, and in the situation that or the circumstances in which we'll be racing, and I am very pleased. Now, Speedy, you know it's something when I say that I am very pleased at an NH model game. But I'm actually very pleased. I actually had fun when I raced. Even in a random lobby, I felt I honestly had fun. Maybe that's just bad. Maybe it's scary that I'm having fun well, I'm not gonna go there. It's on YouTube, I'll get in trouble. But anyway, I think we'll be in pleasant surprise. And I think one thing we'll see is the playing field is going to be leveled. It's not going to be a drive away, or it shouldn't be a drive away by some of these top tier drivers. It's going to be a lot more level. And I think we can actually have some surprises this season for the NH, for these wins and chase appearances. I think we could definitely have some surprises, because of just the style of racing. You're not just going to be able to drive away. You're really going to have to fight for each position. But when you get up there, you're not going to be able to drive away. It's going to be some good hard-nosed battling.
Once Fracture gets back, if you want, maybe we can possibly, while we're doing the speed report, we can all three hop on and do a little bit of practice at the next tracks.
That sounds good.
And I'll hop on. It might take me a minute to swap over and everything. I'll be right back.
Okay. And
everyone's favorite
so
snack.
all right, great. So let's we were previewing this upcoming season, this upcoming weekend. We've got Homestead, Indy, Auto Club. Of course, you know that.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the upcoming weekend? What do you think is going to what's it going to be like when in the NH3 models?
I think it's a perfect way to start off the season for a new generation of cars and model that we haven't seen for a little while. Auto Club is a wider track. That's always good to start off the season with. Homestead is another one of those that should provide good racing, but it provides enough room to race. And Indy is a bigger track and good enough racing lines. I think we're going to be in for an exciting week.
Yeah. Now you have a little bit of experience with the NH3.
Not
and
entirely, but yeah.
Okay, well, at
It
least
is
you've seen
similar
it.
to a successful model that I have been on.
Yeah, it is very similar to NHE. Um, I was telling Speedy, I think we'll have some surprises out there on the racetrack as far as wins with the way we'll be racing, because you can't really drive away that
The draft
much.
connects cars. It really does. Especially this
Yeah,
week. Indy, that's going to be hard to break.
yeah. We got the damage model. We got the 2 minute clock. How is that going to affect strategy? How is that going to affect what you do on the racetrack?
The damage model. I'm glad they added it in. I mean, it's been 1,000 years, but thank God they added it in. Now I actually get to see the fire come out of my car when I kill it. But the damage model is, it's going to make guys drive smarter instead of just sending in every corner and slamming into people like you could
We
or
hope.
like you used to. And you can't wall ride successfully anymore, hopefully. Yay! So
Yeah.
I think that's good. But then the 2 minute clock. I mean, it's stupid that it's there, but it's there. We can't do nothing about it. So it might put some stay out strategies in more at the end of the race because you don't know when it's going to pop up. I mean, like that 2 minute clock, it'll just jump up with a snap of your finger, and that's there.
But isn't that a lot more exciting, like,
Oh,
because you
bunching the
can't
cars
plan
up
for
and
it?
yeah, I mean it's. I mean, if you're in the back and a 2 minute clock comes out and we're under caution, I'm pitting. If you're in the front, I'm staying out because 2 minute clock, you gotta go. You have to go.
Yeah. I was thinking that because you don't know when it's going to pop up. We've had races in the past because I believe the NH2 model ran with a 2 minute clock,
Yeah, the
and
Xfinity
we've had it
Series
come
tried
up. Yeah, we come up a couple times, and I think that. But we also had a race where we had a tremendous amount of cautions, but no 2 minute clock came up. And so I'm thinking, hey, you don't know if that thing's gonna pop up or not. So you're sitting there, it's late in the races. Do I pit? Do I not pit? Do I get tires? Do I not get tires? Because we may have a situation where we're under green. If we're under green, it's getting late in the race. What do you do? What choices do you make there?
It's like a
I
math
think that's
equation.
huge. Yeah, certainly. I think that's going to change the narrative. That's what I was telling Speedy. I think there'll be some surprise victory lane appearances by some of these drivers. They may get their first career simply because of being in a race at the right time. Oh, okay. So Homestead, who you got? Who's going to victory lane? Who's going
Oh
to be the first
boy.
oval to go to victory lane?
Well, we haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen a lot of the guys in the league how quick they are. I think Homestead is going to go to Speedy in a close 2 minute clock led race, where he's able to snag it and win.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Paintbrush. I think
Really?
he's gonna be there kind of the whole race, but not really snag the lead, not really try to take control. But then we're gonna hit the final laps, and he's gonna jump out. Hey guys, I'm here, and snag the win. I think that's how it's gonna go for him. And then Auto Club, I'm gonna go with myself. I didn't want to do this, but I have seen my success on the 2 mile tracks before. It has been quite good to me, so I'm gonna go with myself for Auto Club.
Yeah, enjoy some
Okay.
practice fracture.
Milwaukee. Just a sec.
I
Huh?
guess Homestead.
Yeah, here. I'll hop on. I gotta leave the party here, so I'll hop on.
Okay. Speedy.
Yes.
Fracture gave us his picks for the 3 races coming up this weekend. What's yours?
Honestly, can't pick. I can hope it be one of us, but we'll see. I'm hoping it's one of us, if it not me. To be biased, I mean,
Yeah,
I hope I can
definitely.
make it, but I mean, if I can, I hope my teammates can get the wins.
All right, so let me, with my biased self, uh, uh, first of all, invite. All right, so let me
Have a good day. Stay
push
sharp.
the right button here.
All boats
I
ready.
think
Green flag, green.
Homestead. I think look at how Homestead is commanding. It fits the most, driving style and quality there. I'd probably have to say Fraction.
Car there's on your inside. Inside.
Not here. Come back here. I think Fraction would definitely
Hard on the outside.
outside. People out comes in the Homestead. Simply just by the way
Clear high,
you
bud.
have to run the racetrack and this is driving style. So I'll say Fraction steals the first win.
Car on the outside now. Outside.
Then we're gonna head out to Indy.
Clear high. Clear high.
Indy, I think Speed B will actually be the second win of the season there. I think he was very fast last season. Now I want to see how he adjusts to the difference between NH and FM6. FM6 last season, one of FM6. I definitely want to see if he can do that. In Auto Club, I don't know what Fraction is talking about because everyone knows that I'm better than him in Auto Club. So. Who has the rec? Who has the rec?
I didn't see you in the last.
I ain't talking about the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I think I was in the victory lane. I'm gonna get that one in the victory lane.
Inside. Inside.
I can adjust some settings.
Still there.
I'm the 8th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line. Track's all yours, bud. You're clear. All clear.
And so in this last segment here, this segment's open to you guys that are watching, that have watched, interested in the comment,
Stand by here.
question,
Stand by.
answer,
Careful. Still there.
question,
Clear all around.
discuss the question, statement
Inside.
here on the
Inside.
chat, in the speed report. So keep an eye on the chat for your questions in this last 9-minute segment. And,
All right, now you're clear. Inside. Inside,
see what
inside.
you have to say.
That was a
I'm
great
gonna say,
round.
how about that? I gotta leave it off, I guess.
car there is on the outside. Outside. Got one outside now. Still there.
I'm not racing with my racing controller either.
I'm standing up. So I'm ready to go.
I'll tell you what, when you get damaged, it does affect the car.
I got a little bit.
That's you.
But I also got things that's lean.
I got too much damage. My pin's gonna be like 20 seconds.
Oh, I forgot. Esports now.
Oh no, I'm running hot.
Oh yeah, it's just my force feedback and stuff. It's way too high right now.
That was slow. So slow. They couldn't even pop me. I'm like, wow. I
I got it.
Yeah, he got right. He didn't stand up. It's a yellow flags. So what place you in back there?
Hanging on the 8. Running hot.
25 to go.
Got one down low now. Got one down low to the inside. 5 to go. You got this. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
Was it you? But yeah, concerned with some skateboard, yeah, for the rest of the season. That's what I had games and whatnot. Competition, yeah, man. Hope, my number one hope is we actually
Still there.
have decent tournament. That's I want plenty of people to
Still
show
there.
up every weekend. Michigan. We have at least a good 12 or
On,
16.
you're clear.
That means I won't win.
You can get better.
Man, I'm not fine. Dude, I can't get better.
Car on the outside now. Outside.
There's
Clear
always
all
room
around.
for improvement.
Yeah. You're right. I got one.
slow now. Got one down low. Inside. Alright, two more good laps from him. Watch those tires. You only got 4 of them. Draw clear up top. Inside. The white flag this time, it'll be a checkered flag next.
Well, cricket, let's hope I can do that again. Saturday.
Watch those tires. You only got 4 of them.
Minus
Minus what just
Alright, we need fuel. Let's sit down.
Oh, I mean, just watching it. There's another car sitting there sideways that was killed in the car, but I finished it.
Something integrity.
Yep, I just put the checker
Yeah.
in first.
Nice work with the top 10.
I took the W.
We thank you guys for tuning in for the speed report.